actually ruined the lap.
Yeah, I'm not so sure these guys don't say a 28-2. 28-2, I can do that.
Bernard, Elliott, and Blaney on track. Congratulations to Marissa Espammer, who won the high-heeled dash wearing size 9.5 Euro socks from the 24 crew. Congratulations.
She had good shoes on.
Menard, 8th. That knocks out Ryan Scott. Chase Elliott, 7th. That knocks out Matt Kenseth.
Pretty good.
Blaney, 2nd.
Yes, sir.
And that will bump Austin Dillon. Dale Earnhardt's on the hot seat.
Mike, what do you see in that top 6, 7 there real quick?
Blue ovals.
Yes,
Amen.
lots of it.
Lots of them.
They came ready for the 6-7.
Are Fords.
What's interesting is in practice, I thought it was the exact opposite. We saw a bunch of Chevrolets, a couple Toyotas up there.
I also think it's interesting. Kyle Busch is
Big moment for the 5 here in the middle of the corner. See the back end step out. Didn't lose as much time as I thought he was going to.
kind of looked like Biffle over there off turn
Yeah.
2, and he stayed in it. Didn't lose that much.
So these times are compared to Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is the bump spot, 24th.
Mike, I didn't think 18 was interesting. He said in 5th. Kyle Busch, remember all those practice laps he ran?
Yep.
Seemed like I might have paid off.
Well, you know, Kane lost a lot down there 1 and 2, but he actually gained a little bit back in 3 and 4. This is a great track for Kasey Kahne. Unfortunately, that's not going to get it done. He's going to have to get it turned around in a hurry and get back out there.
27th for Kane. Landon Castle, 32nd. And the bump spot still Dale Earnhardt Jr., 28.59. Almirola, another Ford that's flying.
He sat on the pole over here before. It's been a while.
6th for Almirola. So that bumps Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chris Buescher is now on the bubble with 8 minutes to go.
But another blue oval going up there inside the top 10. They've got their qualifying setup figured out.
Reed Sorensen, 36th.
Well, I think they may have something else to think about. They ran first, second over here last week, so they may have Charlotte figured out.
You might be right.
Matthew Benedetto on track. 3 cars have not yet taken time.
Well, unfortunately, some of these that have played the waiting game, it's not worked out for a couple of them, like Kasey Kahne. Benedetto really has his hands full here at this lap. You can see the car wiggling all over the place. Talking about the track being greasy.
34th.
Yeah, not good.
So that will leave Cole Witt. And I don't believe David Reagan completed a lap.
Ricky's
Out of his car, he's 4th.
Yeah, he's looking pretty confident right now.
6 Fords in the first 8, plus Kurt Busch's Chevy and Kyle Busch's Toyota.
And my qualifying's not over with by any means.
Oh, no.
But just to see all those guys in those Fords dominating the top 10 right now, that's not what we normally see.
All right, let me go back to my opening question. The top 2 drivers on the board just ran that Infinity practice.
That's a good point, Mike. I mean, I think knowing what the grip level is, because I think a lot of people that weren't on track assume it's going to have a lot of grip. The track temps going down, and you can really push the limits of the tires of the cars. And I think those that were on the track might disagree with that and say, no, it's gained a little bit of grip, but it hasn't gained a ton of grip.
When I watched that Xfinity practice, I watched a lot of it. The cars were running really high. Really high around the top on the racetrack. So these guys have done a nice job of getting off of these cars and making the necessary adjustments.
And anytime we see that, DW, you know, especially in the Xfinity and Truck Series, if the grip level is good, they're right around the bottom. If the grip level is off a bit or the track's slick and greasy, they're going to move up to the top. So you're right. I think that's a good sign. Now, I think as the sun continues to settle, I don't know about round 2, but certainly round 3, I think you'll see that grip level really start to gain grip because that track temp comes down. Or I think it is anyway.
Well, I would be surprised if the next session, round 2, is not a little quicker. And I think we'll see our fastest lap in that final session. I really do.
Hey, one thing I'm seeing on this 21 car that Jeremy Bullins, that group has done, and we saw it on our Eagle, they, instead of blocking us area up here with regular black tape like I've seen Joey Logano. They've got clear tape on there. They have a little small opening at the top, but it's clear tape. You could still see the holes of the grill. That way it was somewhat hard to tell exactly how much tape they had on that nose.
Are they trying to trick us, or are they trying to trick the competition?
I don't think they're trying to trick us. It's probably that competition.
Yeah, I think so.
Jamie.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., you guys called it, looking confident there, sitting in fourth, but we have 2 more rounds. Hopefully you make it to the last round. How will things be a little bit different this next time?
Well, there's a lot. I thought the track was going to have a lot more grip right there than what it did, and I felt like I overdrove our Fastenal Ford and left some speed on the table. So that makes me feel a little bit better that if I go hit my marks, I could be a little bit better. We just got to make the right changes in between each session, 1 round at a time. We obviously confident we're going to make it to the second round. Now we got to do our parts and make sure we make it to the third round before we worry about going to chase a pole or anything like that. So this qualifying session, you got to take it 1 step at a time, and you pointed out to me the Fords are looking good here in round 1, so hopefully we can continue that.
Cautiously optimistic for Ricky Stenhouse.
6 out of 8 in round 1. Now, the self-style godfather of Ford racing is in town. Edsel B. Ford is on the board of directors, and he basically, from the Ford family, oversees all of Ford racing. NASCAR, they're going to Le Mans. They have a great program both in IMSA and in World Sports Car. And that all kind of comes under Edsel Ford. So when he's in town, everybody steps up and pays attention and does their best.
And not only was he in town, he was riding along with Joey Logano in our own DW. Was it the Model T you guys went in?
Yeah, the Model T, and really nice car. We got a great
You got all the secrets then. What was said in that
I was
car?
trying to listen to Joey and Edsel and see what they were talking about, but they were whispering a lot.
You know what Edsel's ride was in the early 70s at Babson College in Massachusetts? A 427 Cobra.
My goodness. Well, that GT350, I thought that's what we were going to go for a ride in today.
But it was a Model T instead. That's pretty cool. Well, Clint Boyer working hard, trying to improve on 30th here. Michael McDowell is out there trying to beat Chris Buescher's 28:58, a little less than 3 minutes to go.
Boyer's flirting with it. Really close. He's trying, buddy. He's trying. A couple of hundredths off.
And Boyer jumps up, but only to 26th. Here's McDowell, who was green light for about half of that lap. He will stay 32nd. Landon Castle currently 33rd. And Chris Buescher remains on the hot seat. Castle's second lap identical to his first.
Here goes the 3 car. Let's see if what he can put up.
Austin Dillon.
Oh, he had a nice lap in the green, and then that landing into turn 1, which is a crucial part of this track. It's so tough. You get through that section and you're going to make up a lot of speed, but boy, if you miss it, it can cost you a lot.
You can have green all the way into the middle of the corner if you don't let off.
Illegal on entry
What happened?
And Dillon, who had a 28.64, this lap is a 68.
And that's what I noticed when we were riding on board. I believe it's with Tony Stewart and Dale Jr. They're letting off much early. Last year, these cars were almost wide open, had tons of grip with that aero package compared to this one. And they're really having to be careful not to overdrive it, as we heard Ricky Stenhouse Jr. talk about.
Regan Smith went faster, but is now 31st. Here's David Reagan getting his first lap in.
When that sun goes down,
34th for Reagan.
when the sun goes down a little bit further, they'll be more wide.
But there's still quite a bit of sun on the racetrack off of 2 and going into turn 3, as we saw right there with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Boy, Matt Kenseth was green light for a while, almost to the middle of 3 and 4.
This one's been a shocker all day. He has not had the speed of practice, and he continues here in qualifying, and I think that's a shock to a lot of us.
Yeah, he moves up 2 spots. Kenseth moves up 2, but that's only to 27.
We saw Kenseth actually down here in 3 and 4 almost spin that car out in practice.
Chris Buescher a little slower on that lap. He holds the 24th spot. Can he keep it? Here's Casey Kane. Brian Scott on a run. Matt DiBenedetto.
Now, Casey was one that I think he may have underestimated the grip level. He overdrove it a little bit, got loose in 1 and 2 the time before. Now he's put a nice clean 1 and 2 together. Can he get through 3 and 4 here real good? Look at it, it's coming back.
All right, session ends. Brian Scott slower.
Not quite enough.
Dale Jr. slower. Casey Kane faster, no improvement. And Matt DiBenedetto moves up 1 spot.
Jeff, that 5 car looked like off turn 4. It really started to push up the hill. It really kind of raced out toward the wall. Took a lot of speed out of that car coming to the line here.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. misses advancing by 1/100th of a second. He will start 25th in Sunday's Coca-Cola 600.